lose by 2. So
yeah, that's the game I'd
know.
like to see. I'd have to see that. Now, how'd you let them come back with 2 minutes left?
Exactly. A lot of silly turnovers. That's the only way that could happen. Well, like you said, you got to be a fan. You talked about Alikor Brooks and the way she played in the first half, but you can't say enough about Khadijah Gibson and the game that she has put forth here tonight. She has to be in that 25 to 30 point range herself.
Right, but it's not just the points that establish her as such an outstanding player.
Yep.
It's her command of the offense. Remember, she's bringing the ball up court, or she's distributing. She's playing the defense, and she's getting the rebounds when necessary. What a game by Khadijah Gibson.
Absolutely. Talk about filling up a stat sheet. I don't think there's a single stat she does not have. She could be flirting with a triple-double here in this game. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes, I'd love to see that at the end of the game.
Whatsoever. And let's not forget the spike she did on the shot earlier in the first half by Tiana Hall. Good night. Surprised they didn't change basketballs after that one as Hall sinks this free throw.
And looking at their schedule, Wise has 1 loss. And that loss was to Aberdeen, and that was back in December. But it was a decisive loss.
Yep.
They lost by over 30 points. And I'm going to tell you, I've got to see the team that can beat these Lady Pumas by 30 points. That game I have to see.
I'm sure there has to be some sort of explanation for something like that. I mean,
7-footer?
There you go, something. I don't know. Maybe some of the WNBA players stepped back down for that game. That's
or maybe somebody for
maybe Brittany Griner decided to come play for Aberdeen that day.
Cheryl Swoops came out of retirement.
Exactly. The ball inside to Lee. The nice turnaround hook shot from Sierra Lee. And I tell you what, we can't talk enough about Brooks and Gibson, and Cozy played well so far today, and Ross played really well. But the play of Lee has been phenomenal, as well as now we just named 5 players for this Wise team, all 5 of them having solid games.
Yeah, it sounds like the Yellow Jackets are playing Kentucky, where you just got 5 first-round draft picks.
And that's what we're looking at here.
As foul.
How about adding a little icing to this cake from Khadijah Gibson, who's able to drive the lane and get the swoop shot layup and one.
And before Gibson made that basket, we see her making the contact, putting that ball up. We saw Sierra Lee cleaning up a missed shot. And that's, if you miss anything, Sierra Lee is right there to grab that rebound. I say again, who beat this team by 30-plus points? I need to see them.
Well, the interesting thing is this Wise team average margin of victory, as we talked about in the open, was 30 points.
30.
Nearly 30 points in the 4A. So
trying to get to it now.
There you go. As they're about to
by
stretch it to 30 now. Yep, exactly. It's 2:25 to go. As Gwynn Park starting to empty the bench a little bit here, but we'll see how long they'll wait. As he talked about escaping this game with no injuries, but I look out on the court and I see 4 starters out there for the Lady Pumas with 2 minutes to go and a 23-point lead.
I'm going to tell you, you know what Coach Michael Strother's thinking right now? He's thinking, I ain't got to see them no more. That's it.
Oh, another block from Cardwell.
We've got a player down.
Foul, and she is down. And that's looked like a serious injury by Brooks as she took down. She was taken down hard, and
she's back up.
My question to you, if you're Coach Walter Clark, how much more of a warning do you need? When do you start? As the foul there, and watch her legs hit the ground.
Looks like their legs got entangled.
Yeah, and she was unable to land safely. At what point do you empty your bench and get your starters out of this game? You're up 23. It's 2 minutes to go in a game that you yourself have said before the game
is not important.
The outcome wasn't important. You're up 23. At what point do you pull your starters here and rest your players for the rest of the playoffs? Because he said, don't lose focus on the main goal, which is the state championship.
Coach Walter Clark tells you that the county championship isn't that important. I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn.
Some magic beans as well.
Yeah, yeah, I got something to take you up to see the giant atop the beanstalk because you had mentioned you've got 5 WNBA first-round draft picks on the court right now for the Pumas, and they're still in the game.
Yeah. Well, they're slowly getting some people out of there as finally Khadijah Brooks is going to take a seat, as is number 24, Alikor Brooks is going to take a seat, and Khadijah Gibson also going to take a seat. But Ross still in the game, Lee's still in the game, and Cozy back in the game.
And Khadijah did not want to come out.
Nah, not even with 2 minutes to go and up 24. The drive baseline shot put up no good, rebounded, and then looks like there's a battle for it on the ground. called a timeout, and a smart timeout called there by the Lady Pumas. And up 24, I don't know if there was too much to risk there, but a nice timeout and a nice heads-up play called nonetheless. So 1:54 to go. It's 79-55. Wise well in control as we're going to step away for a minute. We'll be right back. You're watching Verizon Fios 1. Welcome back to Upper Marlboro, Maryland, where the county championship game is about to be sewn up here by Wise. This is all just a formality now. It's 1:50 to go, and they lead this thing 79-55 as they turn the ball over. So Gwynn Park will take over here, and Coach Strother before the game, he really seemed like he really wanted to pull this one out for Gwynn Park. Not going to be able to do it, but the good thing, Chad, it's not the end of their season. This was not a do-or-die, lose and go home type situation for Gwynn Park.
And even better, they never have to see them again until next season in the county championships.
I think if these teams played 10 times, Wise would probably win at least 9 of them. Another steal here by Kosi, and CC wisely pulls the ball back out. The nice dish, the short jumper, no good off the back of the rim, rebounded there by number 40, Hinton, and Hinton goes back up with it, unable to get it to go. And here comes Gwynn Park as Madison Michael has the ball. Well, actually, she kicked it over to the top of the key. The rebound stolen away, and looks like it's a foul. It's going to be called as Cache Fields tried to go up for the shot and was fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Kara Hinton on that last shot there for the Pumas. Only a sophomore getting significant time here in the county championships for the Wise Pumas. And what a future they got. They just keep reloading.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to graduate Khadijah Gibson, but Hinton's a sophomore. You got Jasmine Jackson, who's a junior, coming back.
Wise will find a way to continue to be great, but you can't understate the ability and the play of those 2 senior guards in Gibson and Brooks and what they brought to the table this year.
Right, and this is their year.
Yep.
This is the year they need to bring it home. They got too much talent. They should be in the state finals.
Absolutely, as the ball's thrown off.
Sierra Lee, goodness
Yeah, you talked about the future, and we talked so much today about Sierra Lee, and we neglected to mention she's a freshman, Chad.
I'd like to know the basketball camp she went to.
That's a freshman with that type of skill and coordination and that size. She's going to be a force to be messed with in the 4A in the coming seasons.
And you wonder if next season, if they're going to change their offense to adjust to go to her, go to a half-court offense.
More of an inside play as opposed to relying heavy on the guards. That drive put up by Kosi, no good. Rebounded there by Freeland.
Freeland able to dominate the inside now that Sierra Lee is gone.
Yeah, but Freeland, get this. Sierra Lee is a freshman. Freeland just a sophomore. So they could be seeing each other in this county championship game possibly for 3 more years or 2 more years after this. I don't think Freeland wants that battle.
Right. I think the Yellow Jackets have had enough of the Pumas for now.
As this game's going to tick away here, no shot clock. So we're just going to let these final 13 seconds tick off as the ball's knocked out of bounds by Gwynn Park, and another substitution now as a few more players are going to get in the game for the Pumas. 79-57 looks like it's going to be our final score, barring a half-court heave here by the Lady Pumas, or a foul, as Kosi's going to hold the ball out. And your Henry A. Wise Lady Pumas are your PG County champions. And you just watched it here on Verizon Fios 1 as they just won this game 79-57 over the Gwynn Park Yellow Jackets.
Could not be more impressed with the play of 2 players in one game than I am with Khadijah Gibson and Aliqua Brooks. Fantastic play by these 2 seniors, taking over each half of the game.
And I tell you what, if I'm the other teams in the PG County 4A who are going to have to play this team come playoff time in the future, I'm a little worried about how I'm going to handle those 2 senior guards because they have the leadership to make it happen.
20-0 now, coming to 21-0 in league play.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break now, and we'll be back with a little bit more post-game wrap-up. You're watching Verizon Fios 1. Welcome back to Henry A. Wise High School here in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, where the home team, the Wise Pumas, were able to take care of business against Gwynn Park. I'm Daniel Abraham, sitting here with Chad Morton, and Damian Gibson joined us a little bit earlier. But Chad, what a phenomenal game by Henry A. Wise and the game they were able to put together. Why was it that Gwynn Park was just unable to do anything with them?
Incredible individual performances. I'm going to tell you, Khadijah Gibson and Eliqua Brooks for Dr. Henry A. Wise. Unstoppable, unstoppable. We talked about it earlier on. It's like playing Kentucky in the NCAAs. You got 5 players who could start on any team in this state.
PG County champions. That's going to do it for us here at Verizon Fios 1. You were watching the county championships for Prince George's here on Verizon Fios 1.
This has been a special presentation of Verizon Fios 1 Sports.